You're listening to the powerhunter3s gamercast. Hey guys, just figured I'd let y'all know, if you guys like my content dealing with my podcast, you guys can come watch me live at twitch.tv/powerhunter3. I play video games most of the week, and if you guys are not interested in that, but you want to get involved in the podcast, you guys can 100% check it out. I do my podcast every Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are recording in live, everybody. So how's everybody doing tonight? Once again, for those who have not been here already, welcome. If you guys are here on Spotify or YouTube, hello. Tonight's podcast is going to be an interesting one. So for the entire Destiny community, by now everybody's heard about the Beyond Light being pushed back. Yeah, it sucks. I heard about that. That said, what's my take on it? Well, reality is, I'm one to say it kind of sucks a little bit. But given the circumstances of what we're dealing with right now, with COVID and all that, and with the fact that they said themselves that because of it, they want to actually make sure that everything's working good, running smooth, add a little more to it, and if they wanted to. So it sounds like they're doing a good thing. I apologize. But basically about it, they're planning on pushing it back because they want to fix some bugs, add some more content. If I'm to recall, they also go for making sure everything's working smoothly, working good. So they decided to delay the launch of Beyond Light, which is the current hyped up DLC coming up here, expansion for Destiny 2. I'm all for it. Reason why? Because as long as it's pushed back just enough, if you push back a game just enough, but then don't push it back again and again and again, eventually it leads to a better game product. And yes, many people. Yes, I'm playing Destiny 2, for those who don't know. So to summarize a simple way, and then I'll go into description here in a little while. They basically said they want to take back Destiny 2 for a little while. Well, sorry, take back the date line for Destiny 2. And then they want to get a better product in. I'm all for it because that means we'll get better stuff. I wanna see what they can do. It'll be freaking awesome. Does that mean they're pushing it back? Yes. Does that mean I am to expect them to be perfect? No, they didn't push it back 3 or 4 years. They only pushed it back a little bit. Let's try this. Come on, you stupid wizard. Wizwaz did. But yeah, it's one of those things. We're gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna have to understand that. I would much rather them have a better product at the end of the day than pop out an expansion that's shit. We've experienced that before in the past. We don't need another another problem with expansions being shitty or a game being shitty. I would much rather them work on a game that they can actually work with. Well, they already are. They already are. So I can't say that. I'd much rather the game be working right from the get-go. And having them make a better game in the beginning, would be the much more logical solution. In turn, the better the product, the better the game, the better the community is going to be. And I'd much rather be a happy community than have a shitty portion of a game. And I died. But regardless, does that mean that it's going to be perfect? No, never. No game is perfect. But I would much rather a game be good than be pushed out. And having a game that's pushed out, that's just kind of forced out, it would ruin the experience. And they've learned that the hard way. So, in my opinion, it's good on Bungie for them to push it out on a later date. I would much rather that than not have them push it out. And I hope this guy dies. He's dead. And I died. Again. That also means that I'm going to be more hyped for it. Because the longer it's out, it's like, oh, come on, I want to get it out. Taking longer? Fuck! I can understand some of the members of the community saying, oh, God, we can't wait so long. Please help us. But I'd much rather have a quality game than deal with the negative aspect of knowing that we'd be getting shit. I'm about to get toasted again. I can completely agree with that, Gecko. I can completely agree with that point. For those who are wondering, specifically anybody who's in the who's listening to the podcast. Hold on. It's a little late. I'll have to check the recording later. But one of my channel people said, I'll read it here as soon as I either die or pop heroic, which isn't gonna. No, it's not gonna happen. Alright, he's done. So essentially what he's saying is pushing the game back for quality is always... actually, you know what? I'm just going to quote him. Gecko from Geico. Don't mind me using your name in the... The rig is neutralized. We stopped them in their tracks. Don't mind me using your name on my podcast and the YouTube video of the podcast. But essentially, what Gecko has said is, I like the idea of put the pushback since this fall expansion is the huge selling point for Destiny 2, since they have some bad seasons and need to bring it here, and I believe if it is polished, it will be great. Alright, cool, good to hear. I think if they rush Beyond Light, it might suck, and that will ruin Destiny 2 and probably kill the game. I would 100% agree with that. Reason why is because right now, Destiny, while it is a really good game, it has been in a bit of a slump for content. The content hasn't been as good, and it could have been a lot better. A lot of the content could have been a lot better. Current content right now is at least at a decent level. But if they rush it, if they were to for the new season and they rush it out, it would hurt the game big time. It would definitely hurt Destiny. And Destiny is a passion for everybody. We don't want to watch it get wasted because of being rushed out. We don't want that to happen. Gecko also says, I also don't want a huge updates every Tuesday and Thursday because it was rushed and needs polishing. Which is included into the previous stuff. And he's right. If you rush a product, you gotta constantly update it until it gets to a good point. And we don't want that. Because that would be stupid. That would ruin the game, create problems. We don't want that. We want the game to be at a good point, and if they have to pull the game back to do it, that's what matters. Because there's going to be bugs, regardless how you look at it. And I'd much rather a game have as few bugs as possible and not be rushed than have a game rushed out and have so many bugs that the game breaks, essentially. And with this game, with Destiny, I don't want that to happen. Destiny is my jam. Always has been, always will be. But this could potentially be a make it or break it if they didn't decide to pull it back. Because that would mean they weren't paying attention. I'm still 100% excited. I'm not setting my expectations so high that they're not going to achieve them. But I am hyped up enough to pay attention. Okay, so my bad. It's only been 13 minutes. Well, anyway, I want the game to succeed even more than it already has through its failings because you learn more from failure. And I'd much rather Destiny be at a point where we can sit there and look at it and be like, okay, it's at a decent level, because not everybody's going to you're never going to make everybody happy. But if it's at least at a decent level where everybody can agree it's tolerable for some and good for others, that's the threshold we should be at. And yes, things will get patched. There will always be patches and stuff like that. But I'd much rather not deal with a whole bunch of them that fix problems right away. At least work our way up into certain problems. What do you think? Better to have a polished game that's not going to be completely completely screwy with our abilities and things along those lines. Because it doesn't take much for a game to crash and burn. And in Destiny's case, it's not the only game that it's on that pedestal. It wouldn't take much to bring it down. And I don't want to see it go down. I'd much rather mistakes were made and we're ready to learn from them and go from there. But that's I completely agree with that. Anthem was one of the biggest examples, as Gecko said. It was hyped up to be the good rival to Destiny 2, and it flopped hard because they rushed it. And having a game get rushed always screws a game over for a long haul. Because there's a lot of people right now that, unless they're currently sitting on the guys who made it, EA BioWare. Full respect to them because they did make Mass Effect and all that, but their most recent Mass Effect game was not good. Not good, from what I'm led to believe. It could have been a lot better. There was a lot of problems with it, and it flopped. It was a flop, but Anthem was a massive flop because it was rushed out too quickly. And I hope that if they actually do fix it, that they bring the game to a point where it actually will be good, and don't overhype us beforehand. Fix the game. If you're gonna fix the game, fix it right. Don't rush it out. You're gonna screw your fan base in the end. Another game that's a good example, while not a rival to the Destiny franchise, but another game that was rushed out too quickly and was crap from the start. At the start, was No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was a flop right from the first day. But unlike Anthem, because the developer that made No Man's Sky said, we are going to make this the game we wanted it to be, that game is now actually very good. And I'm not just talking. It's being updated at least once a year. There's always content to do. There's always things to do. There's multiplayer now, full on multiplayer. There's community events. There's things you can build. There's lots of stuff. There's ways you can get rich in game, relatively simply. But they're constantly adding stuff, and the game is like, No Man's Sky has now brought itself from the brink, and has become a fantastic game. There's still some bugs and things that they did that are tough to fix because it's procedurally generated. But No Man's Sky is the example most game developers that do rush their game out should take an example of, because they brought it from a disaster to where it is now, which is, while still small in the streaming scape, has become a fantastic game. Very beautiful game. with some bugs. Don't get me wrong. There's still some bugs, frame rate issues, and stuff like that. But it is a very beautiful game, and it is. They brought it from the brink and did it justice. And now their most recent update added the ability to go on to frigates that are derelict in space. All I did the last time I played it, which was on Friday, I believe it was just go to my Indian farm and made myself some big money. But No Man's Sky has become the game that we should think about from now on, because it came from ashes, literally, and became very good. So with Bungie pulling back their expansion, it could become some semblance of a No Man's Sky effect. And if it is a No Man's Sky effect in a Destiny variation, it could potentially become a really well done game, a really well done expansion, or whatever you want to call it. I call it expansion, some call it DLC, some call it content. I want to see where things go, and we shall see how this game ends up going. That's the best thing I can give us, is to remain hopeful, but not overhype yourself that the game it's going to be because, in all honesty, while I love Destiny and I loved the content, it has been just a little dry. Not Taken King levels dry, but it was dry. It was a little dry. Content was not really there, but it was there as well, and I really want to see Destiny become something a little more what they want it to be. And them pulling it back could potentially achieve that goal. And hopefully that happens. And I'd like to see them do it. And we will be excited. Everybody in the entire Destiny community will be excited to see it happen. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that it'll happen. But I'm not going to make no guarantees that it's going to happen. I'm not going to hype myself up too much about it, because that's not really a good thing to do. As proven. But we shall see, everybody. We shall see what happens. And hopefully it turns out pretty good. Because I really want to use I really do want to use the darkness subclasses. They look really good. Using stasis element as a subclass. Oh, it's gonna be good. And it will be, especially considering the way things are leading into. While they've already revealed what the future is, and I will be playing the fuck out of it, pardon my French. For those on Spotify and YouTube, and no, it's not real French, bear with me. If this expansion doesn't turn out to be what they wanted, I could see the player base being down on the down end of the scale. And I really don't want that to happen to it, because the game is good, and I don't want that. Don't want to see that Bungie improv on the moment, eh? But I don't want to see Bungie fail with this game that's been their passion. And to watch them, if they fail, it's going to be a lot of people not playing anymore. And that would suck. But I still will play the hell out of it. It'll be less played, but I'll be playing the hell out of it if it does. If it doesn't fail and it ends up being what we all want, there's going to be a lot of people playing. And I mean a lot. You're not going to see anybody not playing Destiny at that point. At least playing. Not consistently, but playing. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But I could see a lot of people playing Destiny if it ends up being freaking awesome as hell. And I'm not making a prediction. So don't go and making assumptions. I'm not predicting. I'm just saying I could potentially see a lot of people coming to Destiny, new and old that are returning, and actually try playing the game again. Or playing the game if they haven't played it before. And it'll be a really well done, a really good game to play. So that's my take on Lightfall. No, not Lightfall. Beyond Light being pushed back. And for those, as you can tell, unscripted and improv the whole time. But that'll be the podcast for the night. For the week. So thank you very much, everybody. Everybody on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. Everybody on Spotify, follow me on Twitch. It's twitch.tv for both of you. It's twitch.tv/powerhunter3. So yeah, thank you all once again for hitting me up on the podcast. And I will see you guys on the next one. You just heard the Powerhunter3 gamercast. Check me out at twitch.tv/powerhunter3.